Thomas was a handsome man who worked as a brand manager in a big production company in Lagos. At just 28 years old, he already had a good job that paid well. Everyone at work liked Thomas. He was smart, hardworking, and always smiling. He could make anyone laugh with his jokes and stories. 3 years ago, Thomas married Boma, a beautiful woman who owned a shop where she sold human hair and wigs. But unlike Thomas, who talked a lot and made friends easily, Boma was quiet and kept to herself. Many people thought she was proud or unfriendly until they got to know her better. Thomas and Boma had a 1-year-old son named Jakes. He was a chubby baby with bright eyes like his father and a gentle smile like his mother. Many people envied their marriage. Thomas seemed to love Boma so much that he couldn't stay away from her for long. From the first year of their marriage, Thomas would call Boma many times during the day. To everyone who saw them, Thomas and Boma had the perfect marriage. But as time passed, things began to change. 2 years into their marriage, Thomas' love started to feel different to Boma. What seemed like care and attention at first now felt like control. One day, Boma's elder brother, Zoba, who lives in Abuja, sent her a car as a gift. She was so happy when it arrived. "Thomas, look, Zoba sent me a car," she said excitedly. "Now I can drive myself to the shop and you won't have to rush from work to pick me up." Thomas looked at the car and frowned. "Who asked you to buy a car? Did I complain about driving you?" "No, Thomas, you don't get." "But what?" "Lagos roads are dangerous. You're not experienced enough to drive here. And come on, you don't need a car. You send it back." "Send it back? Oh, it's a gift from my brother. He's not a stranger," Boma said, her voice breaking. "I'm your husband, Boma. I know what's best for you." Despite all her pleas, Thomas made her return the car to Zoba. Boma felt bad about it, but she told herself that Thomas was just being protective. Thomas continued to drop her off and pick her up every day. He also kept calling her many times while at work. But now, instead of finding it sweet, Boma began to feel suffocated. One afternoon, Boma was busy attending to customers when her phone rang for the 4th time that day. "Hello," she answered, trying to keep her voice low so customers wouldn't hear. "Where are you?" Thomas asked sharply. "I'm in the shop, attending to customers," Boma replied, surprised by his tone. "And who are those customers, men or women?" Boma looked around. They are women and a man." "And what's a man doing in your shop? I thought you sell wigs." "Thomas, please, not today. I'm working. Can we talk about this when you come to pick me?" "Just answer my question, Boma." Thomas' voice was loud now, and the customers were looking at her. Boma immediately hung up, feeling embarrassed. When Boma's shop assistant, Agatha, resigned to get married and move to another state, Boma needed to hire someone new. After interviewing several people, she found James, a young man who was smart and had an experience working in a similar shop. When Boma told Thomas about her plan to hire James, he became angry. "A man? You want to hire a man to work closely with you every day?" Thomas' eyes was wide with anger. "No way." "But Thomas, he's the most qualified person I've interviewed. Agatha has been gone for 2 weeks now and I'm struggling to keep the shop afloat." "Don't tell me that. I brought you 10 different women to choose from, but you rejected all of them," Thomas said, his voice rising. "Now suddenly, this handsome James is the most qualified? Do you think I'm a fool?" Boma sighed. "But Thomas, those women weren't qualified either. I explained why I couldn't hire each one of them and you agreed with my reasons. James knows about hair products, he has experience and the customers like him, that's all." "Well, I don't care. You're not hiring him. I am your husband and I forbid it." Finally, Boma decided to do what she thought was best for her business. She hired James without telling Thomas. As she expected, James was excellent at his job. He knew how to talk to customers, understood what they wanted, and recommended the right products. Her business improved almost immediately, but Boma's peace didn't last long. Thomas started showing up at the shop unannounced, watching James with suspicious eyes. One day, Thomas arrived just as James and Boma stood close, focused and working on a wig. "Boma, oh, that's what you do here, right? And you, young man, aren't you ashamed to be hanging around a married woman?" Everyone in the shop turned to look at him. "Thomas, please," Boma said quietly, taking him by the arm. "Please, let's talk outside." Once outside, Boma tried to explain. "Look, I don't like how he looks at you, Boma," Thomas said. "I see how he smiles when you talk to him. James is just being friendly and professional. After that day, Thomas started calling even more frequently. He would ask Boma what she was doing and if James was near her. Sometimes he would even ask to speak to a customer to confirm that Boma was actually talking to a woman. One of Boma's friends in Kiru, who had at first envied her for having such a loving husband, now worried for her. Boma, this is not love, this is control. I can remember my cousin was married to a man like this. She couldn't breathe without him knowing, and it did not go well. No, in Kiru, Thomas just loves me too much and is quite jealous, so I understand. Girl, you don't understand things like this. You have to do something fast. For your safety, love should make you feel free, not trapped. Boma thought about her friend's words on her way home. She decided to talk to him about it. That evening, after putting Jake to sleep, Boma sat beside Thomas on their bed. Thomas, I feel like you don't trust me. The way you call me all the time, you question everything I do, how you react to any man who comes near me. It makes me feel like I'm in a cage. Thomas put his phone down and looked at her with surprise. A cage? Is that how you see my love? You're not even grateful. I'm trying to protect you. I've literally been your driver since we got married. Is this what I get in return? Thomas, no, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not a child. I need my own space. I need freedom to make my own decisions. No, you do not do as you please. I am your husband. You will do as I please. But he immediately softened and took her hands. Look, I'm so sorry. But just know that I love you so much and I don't want to lose you. Won't lose me, Thomas. Well, you might push me away if you keep suffocating me like this. Thomas nodded and promised to give her more space. But one evening, Boma was at home with Jakes while Thomas went to buy something from a store down the street. He had left in a hurry and forgotten his phone on the bedside table. While he was gone, his phone kept ringing. Boma saw that it was their plumber calling. She ignored it at first, remembering how Thomas had warned her never to answer his calls. But the plumber kept calling again and again. After a while, Boma decided to pick the call. As soon as she picked up, before she could say anything, a woman's angry voice came through. It will not be well with you, Thomas. I waited for you all night. You did not show up. Yet I'm the one calling you, and this is when you are answering me. Boma was so shocked she couldn't speak. She quickly hung up the phone and sat on the bed, trying to make sense of what she had just heard. With shaking hands, she unlocked Thomas's phone and began to look through his contacts. She quickly copied down a few numbers before she heard the sound of Thomas's car pulling into their compound. She rushed to put the phone back exactly where he had left it and went to the living room pretending everything was normal. That night, Boma couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the woman's voice. The next morning, she decided to confront Thomas. Thomas, who was that woman who called yesterday? She asked during breakfast. Thomas nearly choked on his tea. What woman? The one who called when you went to the store. The one who said she waited for you all night. Thomas' face went blank for a moment. Then he laughed nervously. Oh, that. It's nothing serious. Just a woman I met once. We had a drink. That's all. She's been disturbing me since then, but you know how Lagos girls can be. Boma looked at him, searching his face for the truth. A one-night stand? Is that what you're saying? Thomas nodded quickly. Yes, just a stupid mistake. It meant nothing. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Boma pretended to believe him, but deep down, she knew he was lying. Something wasn't right, and she was determined to find out what it was. Thomas always took his phone with him everywhere, but he had one habit that Boma could use to her advantage. He believed she would never touch his phone without his permission. The next day, as soon as Thomas went into the bedroom, Boma grabbed his phone. What she found made her heart sink. There were messages from different women, some talking about meetings they had, others asking when they would see him again. Boma felt sick. The man she thought loved her so much, the man who was so jealous he wouldn't let her hire a male assistant, was sleeping with other women behind her back. Over the next few weeks, Boma gathered more evidence. She used the contacts she had copied to reach out to people who knew about Thomas's activities. The errand boy reluctantly told her that he sometimes delivered gifts to women for Thomas. Boma was heartbroken, but she decided to give Thomas one chance to change. One evening, after putting Jakes to bed, she confronted him directly. Thomas, I know about the other women, she said calmly. I've seen the messages. I've talked to people. I know everything. Thomas looked shocked. He fell to his knees before her. I'm sorry, Boma. I'm so sorry. I don't know what comes over me. It's like a sickness. But just know that I love you, okay? Only you. Those women mean nothing to me. If you really love me, Thomas, you will stop this behavior, Boma said firmly. Well, this is your last chance, Thomas. I'm willing to forgive you. Just promise me you will change. Thomas promised to change. He cried and begged for forgiveness, saying he would never betray her trust again. He even suggested they see a marriage counselor. For a while, Boma believed him. She watched him closely and didn't see any signs that he was cheating. He was being the loving husband she had married, but her relief was short-lived. About a month later, she overheard him on the phone late at night, whispering and laughing in a way he never did with her. When she confronted him, he claimed it was a work colleague discussing a project, but Boma knew better. She decided to check his phone again and found that he had simply become better at hiding his affairs. One day, Nkiru visited Boma at her shop. She found her friend looking tired and sad. "What's wrong, Boma?" Nkiru asked with concern. "Don't tell me it's your husband again." Boma nodded and told her everything. Nkiru sighed deeply. She then leaned close to Boma and whispered something in her ear. Boma's eyes widened and she covered her mouth in shock. "No, Nkiru, I can't do that." Nkiru smiled mysteriously. "Well, don't conclude yet. Think about it. I can get it for you whenever you're ready." With that, she left, leaving Boma to think about what she had suggested. For days, Boma couldn't stop thinking about Nkiru's words. Was she really considering such a thing? But as Thomas continued his behavior, something inside Boma hardened. For the next few days, Boma was the perfect wife. She cooked all of Thomas's favorite meals and massaged his neck while he ate, and never complained about the mixed perfume she could smell on his shirt or how his neatly ironed clothes were rumpled when he came home. Thomas was happier than ever. One morning, Boma was awakened by Thomas's painful groans. Boma's hand flew to her mouth in fake shock. "Oh my goodness, what happened?" "I don't know," Thomas groaned. "Please, call a doctor, it hurts so much." Instead of showing concern, Boma immediately burst into laughter. "My beautiful husband," she said between laughs as she got out of bed and started dressing for work. "Looks like you've been busy with the wrong people." "What do you mean?" Thomas asked, his face twisted with pain and confusion. "What's happening to me? Please, Boma, help me." "Help you? Like you helped me when I needed freedom. Like you helped me when I asked you to stop cheating." Boma's voice was cold now. "I don't think so, Thomas." She took the car keys from the bedside table. "At least I'll put my driving skills to use today." "Boma, please, don't leave me like this," Thomas begged, tears running down his face. "I need to go to the hospital." Call one of your girlfriends," Boma replied as she walked out of the room. "I'm sure they'll be happy to help the man who waited for them all night." When Boma returned from work that evening, Thomas was gone. She called his friend Hilary, who ignored her calls for a while before finally answering. "You've gotten what you wanted. Why do you care now?" Hilary asked angrily. "Don't misinterpret things, Hilary." "I don't care. I'm only curious," Boma replied with a smile in her voice. Hilary hissed and hung up. Boma then called their family doctor, who sounded serious, and told her that she needed to come to the hospital for a checkup. When Boma arrived at the hospital, he said, "Boma, your husband tested positive for HIV. So, I think it's safe for you to run the same test." "Doctor, HIV? But how?" "Well, I can't say for now." After the test, Boma waited anxiously for the result, but fortunately, she tested negative. Boma felt a wave of relief wash over her. After the doctor left, she went to see Thomas, who was lying in the hospital bed looking weak and ashamed. When he saw her, he reached out his hand. "Boma, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Don't leave me now. I need you more than ever." "Well, that time has passed, Thomas. Give you opportunities to change, but you took me for a fool. I'm done with you." Boma left the hospital and went straight home. She packed essential items for herself and Jakes. Before leaving the house, she moved in with her brother Zoba, who had come from Abuja as soon as she called him. Days later, the swelling in Thomas's body reduced, but his life was never the same. His boss, concerned about the company's image, moved him to a less prominent position. Thomas tried many times to get Boma back. He sent messages, gifts, and even her friends to plead his case, but Boma had made up her mind to stay free.